Hello everyone, welcome to Free Learning School. Today we are going to discuss about prepaid expense. So what is prepaid expense? Whenever we make an advance payment for a future expense is known as prepaid expense. Prepaid expenses are costs that have been paid but the benefit of the cost is not yet taken. Unexpired expense are known as prepaid expense. For example, if you give advance for rent of your house or the business building, that rent should be recorded as prepaid expense because you have paid the rent but you haven't taken the benefit yet. So what should be the journal entry of a prepaid expense? Prepaid expense is an asset. I am repeating it, prepaid expense is an asset. It is not an expense. Prepaid expense should be recorded as an asset and it's an item of the balance sheet. So the journal entry of prepaid expense will be, we will debit prepaid expense amount and credit the cash amount as we are paying the cash. So we'll credit the cash amount. But what happens when we actually take the benefit of the prepaid expense? For example, you paid the advance for 12 months, but after 1 month you have to adjust your expense with your prepaid expense. So when you take the benefit for the prepaid expense, you must record that part as an expense. The journal entry will be, the expense will be debited and the prepaid expense should be credited. So if we take a real example, for example, at the beginning of the year, an organization paid the rent of a building for the next 6 months and we assume the per month rent is $3,000. And they paid $18,000 at the very beginning of the year, for example on January 1st. At the time of making the payment, USD 18,000 should be recorded as prepaid expense. We will debit the prepaid expense rent account and credit the cash account. So the journal entry will be debit prepaid expense rent USD 18,000 and credit cash USD 18,000. So what happens when we record the expenses after 1 month, for example on January 31st? So after 1 month we actually consumed a month rent and at the end of the month we have to enter an adjusting entry for the incurred expense of USD 3,000. So the journal entry will be rent expense USD 3,000 and credit prepaid expense rent as you are not paying the cash. You have already paid the cash in advance and it was recorded as an asset. The prepaid expense was recorded as an asset. So now you are just adjusting your real expense with prepaid expense account. Hope you understood what prepaid expense is. Thank you and please subscribe to my channel to get more videos.